under pressure. In this video, I'm going to talk about it. Now, specifically, what happens often with leaders as they are transitioning either into new roles or perhaps they've been in leadership for a while is that they struggle with communicating under pressure. And in this video, I'm going to share with you specifically why high stakes communication, the ability to communicate in those high stakes situations, is a mandatory, yes, mandatory requirement that you need to have as a leader. Now, this is a Q&A, and if you have any questions specifically as it relates to this topic, then feel free to let me know. Now, I want to share with you a bit about high stakes communication and why this is so critically important. Most leaders that I have worked with women in leadership, which is my specific target audience for my business, Excite Excellence Incorporated. But I've worked with men in leadership as well. And one of the things that I see people really struggle with as leaders is communication. Now, there was a video, and many of you have maybe perhaps have seen it, where Warren Buffett and Bill Gates at that time were speaking to a group of college students. And one of the college students asked Warren Buffett, who obviously is very knowledgeable and very wealthy, what are some skills that they need to be successful as they graduate from college? And one of the skills he mentioned was communication, which is why this is so important. Typically, if you are in a leadership role, let me know what leadership role you're in right now. Just put it in the comments below if you're watching live or watching the replay. But I have found that most leaders, for the most part, have some communication skills. They know what to say some of the times. But the challenge comes in place when the conversation goes under pressure, as I say, meaning it becomes more of a high stakes situation. So if you've ever been in a situation as a leader where perhaps you have been interrupted when you were speaking to someone, maybe you have struggled with being able to negotiate your salary or advocate for your worth, or perhaps you've been in a situation where you are in a very highly visible role where people are looking at you and the room is watching you, then this is the reason why high stakes communication and your ability to communicate in those situations is critically important. So I want to say hello and welcome to those of you watching the video today. If you have ever wanted to communicate at that higher level and be able to communicate confidently and concisely under pressure, let's talk about it in the comments below while I have a few moments. This is the only channel on YouTube that talks about high stakes, high pressure communication for leaders in a live setting. There are no other channels on YouTube that do this. And if you want to be a part of something big and a part of a large movement, then this is the best place for you to be to learn as much as you can in these situations. Now, I want to say hello to Delia. I'm going to say, I hope I'm saying this correctly. Hope you're doing well today. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you all are joining from today. And what are some high stakes, high pressure situations that you're currently facing that you just don't know how to navigate? Put it in the comments below. Let's talk about it. As I mentioned before, some of you join, there's different scenarios that are high stakes. Negotiating or advocating for your worth, being in an interview, being interrupted in a meeting, having someone challenge you, presenting in front of a group of people, presenting in front of your teams, or having difficult conversations, plus 1,000 and million other scenarios. These are all high stakes communication situations where you have to learn how to communicate in a better way. Now, I want to say, let's see, Delia says, hello, how are you? Delia, I'm doing fantastically well, friend. Hope you're doing well also. I have seen many leaders struggle with communicating under pressure. And when that happens and they don't know how to communicate in those high stakes, very pressure situations, they lose credibility with their team. They lose the ability for them to be promoted. They lose the ability for their businesses to grow. And they overall lose confidence in themselves because it just takes that one time where you have a conversation where someone interrupts you when you're in a meeting and you completely freeze and go blank and you're not able to respond. It takes that one time to set back your confidence for an extended amount of time. How many of you have ever been in a situation where you are speaking to someone and the conversation does not go the way that you'd like for it to go and you freeze, you blank, you don't know what to say, you don't know when to say it, you just completely blank? Has it happened to you before? It happens often. And when those situations happen, don't they live in your mind for a while? If you're a leader and you're a woman in leadership, or perhaps you're a man in leadership watching this video, I know you've been through this. I personally have been through this. When a outcome has not been ideal, or maybe I didn't respond the way I wanted to, or articulated something the way that I thought was best appropriate, I will relive that and keep thinking about it over and over and over again in my mind because I don't know. I just don't know what I did wrong or what the mistake was. And when we have those situations come up, we're constantly allowing it to live in our mind over and over and over again. It start to impact our confidence subtly, subtly in ways that sometimes we don't even recognize. This is the reason why communicating at that level and mastering high stakes communication is something you absolutely have to do as a leader. Now, if you want to be the average leader, okay, if you want to be the average leader and you just want to coast and not really do too much, then you don't need to worry about high stakes communication. You don't need to worry about it. As I mentioned, most leaders know how to communicate. However, if you are unique and special, and I know that you are because you clicked on this video and you're watching it, my video titles are for a certain individual. They are not for the average leader. The titles I have are for individuals that are trying or wanting to do more with themselves. But if you are watching this video, then I know that you are called to do a lot more. And mastering high stakes communication is an absolute mandatory thing that you have to do. I want to say hello to Christy. Hello, Christy. How you doing today? Christy says, hey, hello, Christy. This is something that you absolutely want to work on. We'll talk more about high stakes communication later this afternoon. I will be doing a live later this evening. I go live consistently here on YouTube. If you are new to me, I go live during the week, almost 7 times a week. This week has been a bit different because I'm transitioning over to a new website and doing some work on the back end. But I go live here. And if you are someone that wants to communicate more confidently and concisely under pressure, you're welcome to join and subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of videos here that will help you. One of the videos, many videos, I'll give you something to start with to look on my live tab, are thinking on your feet, managing your emotions under pressure, having difficult conversations, maintaining eye contact, adjusting your body language, and etc. These are high stakes skills that will help you be able to communicate at that higher level than your peers. So this is a great place for you to start if you're really trying to advance in terms of how you're communicating and communicate better than everybody else, most people in the world, and this is the best channel for you. All right, let me go to the chat really quickly. Christy says, this is Homelander, by the way. Awama, hope you're doing well today. I don't know who Sydney is, so I'm not sure who that person is. And let's see, could you shout out my bro Abakatum? Okay, hello. We have You Don't Me, hello. Slay Queen, hello, welcome, welcome. So those are a couple things we talk about on the channel. If you have questions specifically, let me know. If you are a woman in leadership and you're in a big transition, maybe you're starting a new role, or maybe you've been in a role for a while and you feel as if you're starting to lose influence in those roles and things are not going the way you like for them to, I can tell you a lot of it has to do with how you're managing those high stakes situations. You're welcome to contact me for an executive strategy session or the high stakes communication intensive that will completely change your life. It is a surgical approach to how you communicate under pressure. It is all located at exciteexcellence.org. So I will see you all later this evening when I go live. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day, and I will see you then.